Kurt Cobain's Fender, from Smells Like Teen Spirit video, among Jim Irsay's billion-dollar collection of cultural artifacts, the late Jim Irsay's storied collection of music, sports, and collectibles is going up for auction early next year, including what's considered the world's greatest assortment of guitars. 5 months after Irsay's death, the family of the late Indianapolis Colts owner has made plans to sell his collection of nearly 200 guitars, as well as an eclectic assortment of hundreds of other historic artifacts Irsay amassed from the worlds of pop culture, American history, literature, and sports. Excitement is already building, says Julian Prattles, president of Christie's Americas, which is hosting the auction. We can't wait for March when we get to share this epic collection at our galleries in the heart of New York City. More. Caesars Entertainment family to auction off 60-acre California wine country Vineyard. In addition to instruments played by icons, Jimi Hendrix, Prince, Eric Clapton, Kurt Cobain, and members of the Beatles, Irsay's treasures include instantly recognizable pieces such as Muhammad Ali's Rumble in the Jungle belt, Racehorse Secretariat's Triple Crown saddle, and a 200-year-old copy of the Declaration of Independence. This decision was not made lightly, but with deep reflection and love for the legacy he built, the Irsay family said in a statement announcing the sale, with a wish to ensure that the artifacts find their next caretakers. A few pieces from the collection will remain with the Irsay family, but most of the collection will be sold. Our dad was a passionate collector, driven not by possession, but by a profound appreciation for the beauty, history, and cultural resonance of the items he curated, the Irsay family said. Each piece in the collection tells a story, and he was always so excited to share those stories with the world. Irsay, who had owned the Colts since 1997, died in May at the age of 65. Photo: Gary Miller, Getty Images. While sports fans will remember Irsay as the Colts owner over a period of nearly 3 decades, much of his legacy also lies in his prolific collecting. Both in terms of monetary value and cultural merit, the collection can lay claim to being among the most valuable ever assembled. I've been offered $115 billion for the collection in totality by someone in the Middle East, Irsay told ESPN in 2023. I turned it down because, to me, number one, it's priceless. And number two, I never started the collection for that reason, to look at it and say, oh, this is going to be a great investment. In recent years, Irsay transformed his collection into a traveling cultural experience, hosting free exhibitions and concerts across the U.S. Thousands lined up for hours in sports arenas to see Ali's belt, Lennon's guitar, and even Wilson, the volleyball from the 2000 film Cast Away, all under one roof. He lent items to museums, universities, and nonprofits for display and research, always with the hope that others would be inspired and united, the Irsay family said. More. Entertainment Unplugged, creating a space for communing without AI or even Wi-Fi. The announcement comes at a time when guitar sales have been skyrocketing. Christie's handled recent sales for legendary guitarists, Mark Knopfler and Jeff Beck, each of which brought in a total of around $11 million. Irsay's penchant for acquiring famous and hugely influential guitars earned him a reputation in the collectibles scene. He was a collector of history, says Norman Harris, owner of Norman's Rare Guitars in Tarzana, California. That was his thing, acquiring the guitar that was played when something significant happened. Included in his collection is David Gilmour's iconic Black Strat, acquired for $397 million in 2019, and Jerry Garcia's Tiger, which started Irsay's guitar collection when he bought it for $957,000 in 2002. Many of his pieces, including the Fender Mustang Kurt Cobain played in the Smells Like Teen Spirit music video, bought for a record-breaking $4.5 million in 2022, and Bob Dylan's 1964 Newport Folk Festival Stratocaster, which he played during his controversial first electric set, hold huge cultural significance. In 2013, Irsay paid $965,000 for Dylan's Stratocaster, which at that time was the highest price ever paid for a guitar. Several Beatles guitars are also housed in the collection, most notably John Lennon's 1963 Gretsch 6120 Country Gentleman, used to record Paperback Writer, George Harrison's 1964 Gibson SG, used on the Revolver album, and Lennon's 1964 Rickenbacker. More. In Salem, Massachusetts, an 1811 home of U.S. Supreme Court Justice Joseph Story lists for $2.6 million, two iconic Eric Clapton instruments, his Fool SG, which played a starring role in Cream and cost Irsay $1.27 million in 2023, and his 1939 Martin 0042 acoustic guitar, played during his career-reviving MTV Unplugged performance in 1992, will also feature. Other highlights include guitars once played and owned by Prince, Eddie Van Halen, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, and more. In a bid to keep the legacy of each guitar alive, Irsay was prone to lending some of his prized instruments to big-name players for live performances. Advertisement. Scroll to continue. Given that several of the Irsay-owned guitars are already auction record breakers in their own right, it's reasonable to expect that the Christie's auction will set a world record for guitar auction sales. It isn't just musical instruments that will be crossing the auction block. The collection includes an assortment of notable sports and movie memorabilia, U.S. presidential artifacts, rare books, and documents with a focus on American history and the beatnik movement. Among the items expected to receive intense bidding are an Apple II manual signed by Steve Jobs, Hunter S. Thompson's Red Shark convertible, and Jack Kerouac's original typewritten manuscript of On the Road. Irsay, who said he originally caught the collecting bug as a youth when he'd buy packs of baseball cards, loved artifacts from Presidents Lincoln and Kennedy. He owned 2 tickets from the Ford Theater from the night Lincoln was assassinated, as well as a John Wilkes Booth wanted poster and JFK's famous rocking chair. More. Art dealer Barbara Gladstone's beach home sells for $11.2 million in a record deal for New York's North Fork in 2022. Irsay paid $18 million for Muhammad Ali's Rumble in the Jungle championship belt from 1974 and amassed other notable items from sports history, including the saddle used for Secretariat's 1973 Triple Crown run and Wilt Chamberlain's rookie contract from 1959, which made him the highest-paid player in the NBA at the time, with a salary over $30,000. Irsay, who had owned the Colts since 1997, died in May at the age of 65. His 3 daughters, Carly Irsay Gordon, Casey Foyt, and Kaylin Jackson, have since taken over ownership of the team and have put at least 2 of Irsay's homes up for sale. A portion of the proceeds from the sale will go toward philanthropy close to Jim Irsay's heart, the family said. Giving back was always central in his vision, and this next chapter honors that commitment. Christie's will host public exhibitions ahead of each sale at its Rockefeller Plaza galleries, offering collectors and fans a final opportunity to experience the collection before it enters its next chapter.